Some of you may have already used Photoshop. Right now we're going to take a quick look at where the tools are and how the workspace is laid out. Just like Adobe Bridge, Photoshop has some built-in pre-configured workspaces. You can access them by clicking on the menu in the upper right of the program. The one we're going to mainly focus on is working in Essentials, but you can see they have 3D, graphic, and web. They also have a photography one, but Essentials will give us most of the tools we'll be using for this class. Make sure you have Essentials selected so your workspace will look the same as this demonstration. On the left of the Photoshop window, we have the toolbar. This has a variety of tools that we'll be using throughout the class. You may notice that some of them, almost all of them in this case, have a little triangle next to them. And what that means is that there are multiple tools in that set. So for example, if I click on the crop tool and hold down the button, the other tools that are in that tool set show up. Like all other Adobe programs, if it has a keyboard shortcut, it will show up at the end of this menu. So to get the crop tool, we can press the letter C. I'll also make reference to options available from the File menu. Those are options available from the top of the screen, things like the File, Image, Filter, or Window options. When referencing tools in those sets, I'll make sure to start with from the File menu. One other thing to note is that the tools have different options available to them. Those will appear across the top of the screen here. For example, if we go back to the crop tool has some built-in presets. So it's got 1:1 square, it's got an 8:10 ratio, it's got a 4:6 ratio. There's some other things to note like the straighten tool, and we can switch the kind of grid that gets laid over the top of the crop tool when we activate it. It's important to keep in mind that when I talk about these certain areas in Photoshop that you know the terminology. Toolbar on the left, File menu at top, and the options for specific tools fall right underneath the File menu. In the next tutorial, we'll look at the specific tools we'll be using in Photoshop to finish the processing of our images for print and/or for use on the web.